The following program was provided by an independent producer solely responsible for its content. The opinions expressed do not necessarily represent the views of this station, its staff, board of directors, or underwriters.
Hi, welcome to the Ring and All Other Sports. My name is Leo Connors. I'm your host, and tonight I got a special guest making his second appearance on the show. Super fan, that's what I like to call him, Brandon Belanger.
Hey, how's it going, brother?
Thanks, man.
Thanks for
really
having me
nice.
back.
I'm glad to have you here, buddy. Really. We got a nice prop. Brandon was nice enough to bring in another one of his belts, which I love, the Stone Cold. Where'd you get it?
I got this actually when I first started working at Market Basket a couple years ago, and I'm actually going to admit this on camera right now to my parents. I told them I actually won this belt. The truth is, I actually bought it. Sorry, parents. I have to admit the truth there. But yes, I actually bought it. I figured, I was working full time, had enough money, and I wanted to get another belt. So
it's an awesome belt.
Yeah, and I love Stone Cold, back in
me
the late 90s, early 2000s, caught up with his moments.
And it's great that you brought it in tonight and I have you on the show because of what's going on tonight, the 25th anniversary of Monday Night Raw, which I usually watch it the next day. Yeah. I'll be watching it tonight.
Yeah, definitely.
But before we get into all things wrestling, we got to talk about yesterday's New England Patriots game. Patriots were down by 10 points going into the fourth quarter. And, of course, again, Mr. Tom Brady led us to another comeback victory.
Yes.
What'd you think, man?
Very, very, very crazy game, man. Yeah. They were going down for the first, 3 quarters, as we know. Yeah. But the fourth quarter, they definitely went in there aggressive, and they wanted to go for number 6, as we all know, for the Super Bowl. And they wanted to go for number 10 for AFC Championship, and they finally did that, and I'm very, very proud to see that game.
Me too.
Fourth quarter was crazy, and I'm happy to see that.
Right. And we were talking off air real quick. I do believe, I know they don't give an MVP out for the championship games, other than obviously the Super Bowl. Danny Amendola was unbelievable when we needed him. Also, Philip Dorsett made a huge catch on 3rd and 18 or something for a first down. The team came alive at the right moments. Do you know what I mean? Just like the last time, the last game, the Super Bowl, I should say, I'm sorry. Yeah. Last year's Super Bowl, they come from behind. It's just an amazing accomplishment for any team to be able to do something like that.
Agree.
Real quick, some stats. Again, the Patriots won 24-20. Tom Brady went 26 for 38 for 290 yards and 2 touchdowns. Brandon Cooks had 6 receptions for 100 yards. Danny Amendola, 7 receptions for 84 yards and 2 touchdowns. Leading the way defensively was Devin McCourty, Trey Flowers. Pats had 3 sacks. The Jaguars were led by quarterback Blake Bortles, who was 23 for 36, 293 yards and a touchdown. And their running back, what's his first name? Laurinette? What's Fournette's first name? Do you remember?
I can't remember.
Well, Fournette, the running back, 24 rushes, 76 yards and a touchdown. Guys, here we go. Minnesota lost yesterday. So we're taking on the Philadelphia Eagles.
And I lost $20 out of that bet,
too. Did you
really?
Yeah,
for some odd reason, I watched a couple of their games, and I figured they were both doing good. And I was like, oh, this is going to be a good game. These guys are doing well. And I had a feeling the Vikings were going to win.
Yeah.
They got demolished.
I'll be honest. I thought the Vikings were going to win, too. I did. And the Eagles played incredible. Nick Foles is no joke. Back up or not. Seriously, we were talking again off air about how good he played the last time he was in Philly and he was the starter.
Yep.
So I expect a really good Super Bowl. I hope to get in a lot of pools.
Yep.
Get a lot of squares. But, all right. So, listen, we're going to get right into this right now, all right? First things first. Brian Fury at the New England Pro Wrestling Academy. New England Pro Wrestling Academy. I'm excited about the Hall of Fame thing that Joe Bruin puts on. Have you ever been there?
No, I haven't.
We'll talk about that after.
All right, cool.
Brian Fury's New England Pro Wrestling Academy. It's located at 100 Belmont Street in North Andover, Massachusetts. Zip code 01845. They're having a one-day fantasy camp on Saturday, February 24th. It starts at 10 o'clock and goes to about 2 in the afternoon. Listen, you can start your career in the pro wrestling world, or you can just live out your dream for a day. For more information on this great thing, you can email them at neprowrestling@hotmail.com to reserve your spot and find out how much it's going to cost. So we will do this again at the very end of the show, as I really want to help, promote that because I think
Yes.
it's great. I think any fan that would just love to be a part of it, even for a day. Nobody else is doing this. So it's a great thing that Brian's doing. We're going to go right to the fan questions.
Let's do it.
Okay. The first question was from your girlfriend.
Christiana Moya.
Yes, and she wants to know, who do you want to win the first Women's Rumble? We all know, I'm going to tell you what else she said. We all know good and well it's going to be Asuka. Can't stand her. She doesn't like the way she is getting pushed on the main roster. Let's be real. That match against Nia Jax the other week was comical. I agree with that,
Yeah, it really
but I
was.
do love Asuka.
Yeah.
I do.
I don't know. I'm not really a big fan of Asuka.
I
to be
know.
Honestly,
I like her.
ever since I saw her at that NXT show that we talked about in Lowell, I wasn't a big fan
Really?
whatsoever. I thought she kind of botched the match. I even screamed out to both of them, Alexa Bliss and Asuka. I was like, go back to the Performance Center where you guys belong. Go back. No, Asuka was good in Japan, but in WWE, I'm not really a big fan.
I'll be honest with you. I love her.
But to answer the question, who do I think is going to, or who do I want to win?
Yeah, who do you want? And then you can say who you think.
Honestly, I gotta go with my girl Sasha Banks. Man.
Sasha Banks.
She's my favorite. You know, Boston.
Yep.
You know, also former chaotic wrestler, as we all know. And I feel like she needs to get more of a push personally, just because
she could use it at this moment.
Exactly, exactly. And the thing is, she won the title 4 times, but every time she won it, it was only for like 3 weeks or a month.
Right.
Let her have like a good 3 to 4 month run with it.
Yep.
You know, let her develop as a women's champion. Let her be the face of Monday Night Raw and for your company. That's what I want to see. You've done it with Charlotte for a good year and a half.
Right.
Let's see it with Sasha. Personally, that's what I want to see.
All right. Well, unfortunately for Christiana, I want Asuka to win. I do. But who do I think's going to win? If she shows up, it's definitely going to happen because they want her for Mania, Ronda Rousey.
Yeah.
I really do believe that if she's in it. Why would you bring her in not for her not to win and push her right off the bat?
Yeah.
I could be wrong.
And there's been rumors about it for
Exactly.
a while, so.
You know, they want to bring the full horsewoman in all together, too. Shayna Baszler, I really do think, is going to come up from NXT for this because they already announced that it's going to be 30 people.
Yeah.
And they only have about 18 people written down so far. So they need, you figure a couple veterans are going to come in, too, right?
Trish Stratus, Lita, maybe.
Jacqueline, Ivory, anybody, actually.
Kelly.
Yep, any of those could come in. So we'll see what happens on that. Thank you for the question, Christiana. Yeah, thank you. I know. All right, next up, I got 2 questions from Nate Fuller. One for you and one for me. We'll go with yours first. Brandon, who would you like to see the men's Royal Rumble match?
All right, personally, I got 3 of them.
Yep.
Finn Balor.
I knew that was coming.
Definitely Finn Balor. He definitely needs a push.
Yeah, he does.
Right now.
Yeah.
But we'll get to that question in a minute. Finn Balor, Shinsuke Nakamura.
Yep, he could use it too.
And you're going to laugh at this one. Woken Matt Hardy.
That could happen.
That could happen.
It could easily happen. That's pretty good.
Yep.
Because it's not one where most fans would pick too. So I like that. You know, I definitely agree that Balor could use it right now, and so couldn't Shinsuke. Matt Hardy, he's going to be over no matter what. He is. You know, he's been over for years. Next question, I don't even really have to answer it. I'll just reiterate it. Nathan Fuller wants to know, Leo, who do you think will win the Women's Royal Rumble? As I said earlier, a couple minutes ago, Asuka, who is who I want to win. Yep. Who do I think's going to win? I mean, it could easily be who you said, Sasha Banks.
Yep.
But if Ronda Rousey's there, I really do think they're going to put her over. All right, so thank you guys for the question. The next one is, how do you pronounce your mother's name?
Noni Belanger.
Noni Belanger,
Yep.
Brandon's mother. She said, son, how do you feel about going to chaotic wrestling with the whole family?
All right, so this
like
is
that.
Yeah. So what is happening with the wrestling shows I go to? I usually go with my friend Jim.
Yep. From Market Basket.
From Market
Yeah, who I
Basket
met,
and
yep.
Ty, but they unfortunately can't make it because they're doing something with Jim's father, Jim Senior, for his birthday throughout the weekend. So, and Christiana can't go because she's doing stuff with her sister and family, which is totally understandable. So I was like, who am I going to go with? So I figured, ask my parents, ask my brother, and I actually have been to shows, like wrestling shows in general, individually with them. This is going to be the first time I go with my family, so I'm pretty pumped.
It's awesome.
And I can't wait to see what the reaction is going to be towards chaotic wrestling in general. I know my mom got a little bit of a taste of it, but once she sees Flip Gordon, baby, it's going to be one hell of a ride.
Absolutely. It's funny, too, because, like, my family, nobody, the only person that ever came, I ring announced one time for three shows for one company, CPW, Collision Pro Wrestling.
Yep.
And the only time my brother ever went to a wrestling was because I was ring announcing.
Yep.
My mother would never go. She hates wrestling. My dad, same thing. He doesn't really hate it like my mother, but I couldn't get it.
Yeah,
like,
remember
I
you were
could get
telling
my
me that.
nephews. I could get my nephews and stuff to go. That's not a problem.
Yeah, remember you were telling me that the last time we talked to you. Why does she hate it so
She
much?
just doesn't
She
like
just
it. I don't
doesn't
know,
like it?
man. She's no talking wrestling in my house, so then we whisper. She can't hear that well when we whisper, so she has no idea we're doing it. Sorry, Mom. Last question is from your brother, Jason Belanger. He wants to know, how do you feel about the Celtics 3-game losing streak? I'm kind of concerned. Okay, this is for me, I guess. Okay, I'm not as concerned as some people are. It's going to happen to every team. Every team goes into a losing streak here or there. Let's hope it stops at 3. You know, I really do think the Celtics are going to go places. They're going to probably make it to the Eastern Conference Finals this year. But I think when they get Gordon Hayward back, I always say his name the opposite. That's why I took my time there. But, yeah, Jason, I don't really have any concern over this. I think the Celtics will be fine. And definitely they're heading in the right direction, as they have been. You know, since they got rid of, they only kept 4 guys from this last year's team to start this year. And with all the turnover and all that, and to be as good as they are, it's awesome. Got one of the best coaches in basketball. But thank you, Jason, for the question. Now let's get into some wrestling talk.
Yes, let's do it.
Let's talk about the Royal Rumble participants.
All right.
For now, like so far, they've only named Elias, Randy Orton, Shinsuke Nakamura, John Cena, Finn Balor, Baron Corbin, Woken Matt Hardy, Bray Wyatt, Rusev, Aiden English, and Samoa Joe, which made me happy because I'm a huge Samoa Joe fan. Yeah. Huge. What do you think? I mean, you know that they're gonna bring a couple of legends back. They usually do.
Which is exciting, and I can't predict of who they're gonna bring back
this year. I can't either.
I just don't want anybody that nobody wants to see.
Right. Yeah.
Like John Cena. Like again, we appreciate everything John Cena's done for the company. Randy Orton, but we don't want to see that. We want to see something new. We want to see something fresh. And I'm sure the fans, Rusev is getting a big, fan base right now with the whole Rusev Day gimmick, which is awesome.
I love
I don't think right now him winning would be a great idea for business. Samoa Joe, if he actually won, I would be pretty pumped about that. Yeah. He's definitely a great wrestler, as we all know, a great competitor. Elias, I swear to God, if he won for some odd reason, I will walk out. I will take my television and I will throw it out the window.
Nobody gets over with that gimmick. No. I mean, honestly, it's a shame because you can see he has talent in the ring. It's just the other stuff that you have to sit through first to see him get that. Because the match against Cena, was it last week? Yeah. It was pretty good. Yeah. It really was. I mean, he can wrestle.
Yeah, it's just the gimmick.
Bad gimmick. Yeah. Bad gimmick. And every time someone comes up with it, it never really
Every time
works.
I see it, I'm like, all right, I'm going to lay down. We'll go on my phone for a good 20 minutes. And all right.
Right. So, but Randy Orton, who won it last year, which really surprised me when he won it, too. I really didn't see that coming at all. Usually I can guess around who's going to be there. Yeah. And I didn't. I thought Randy would have been gone early. I really did.
For sure.
That was an incredible performance by Randy Orton. Yes. How about, do you think Jericho's going to come back for the Rumble? I mean, I know he's not signed, but I don't see why they couldn't bring him back.
I don't know.
He might be one of the guys.
I would like to see that, and I know Jim would like to see that because that's his favorite wrestler. But the truth is, I don't know, because supposedly I heard he still wants to do stuff with Japan.
Right.
But
I'm sure.
We don't know. But if he made an appearance, that'd be great. I would love to see that.
I can't see them, like, not letting him, you know what I mean? I can see them reaching out to him. Yeah. I really can, and I can't see him saying no, because WWE keeps his name relevant big time when he wrestles, you know?
And he definitely did a good job when he came back with the 2016 through 2017 run. That was probably like one of the best runs he had for a while. Yeah, you just made the list.
But I mean, even before he said that line, the place would start going because they knew it was coming.
It was ridiculous.
And him and Owens was great together.
Yes.
25 thing. One of the things was the Festival of Friendship.
The Festival of
Friendship. Yeah.
Greatest segment I've seen in a while.
It was number 18.
I'm watching it. I'm like, is this really happening? And then I'm like, oh my God, did he just show that painting of them touching their fingers half naked? Oh,
that was so funny.
It was hilarious.
And then when Kevin Owens gave him the gift of the new list, the Jericho's like, why is my name?
And then it shows Kevin Owens, and we're like, oh, and the fans went nuts.
I thought that was great.
Really good.
But I wouldn't mind seeing Jericho make his return. Yep. A lot of big guys in it. Baron Corbin, big guy. Strowman's most likely going to be in it. If I had to guess, if you're going to tell me who in Strowman's in it, I see him winning it. I really do.
I totally agree with that.
I really see him winning it. I love the way they're pushing him.
Yep.
They're pushing a legitimate monster.
Yes.
And I was telling my girl the other day, can you imagine what it's going to be like when they turn him face? Fans are going to love him, man.
He can actually.
Fans already like him now.
Yeah, and he can actually wrestle for a big guy, too.
Yeah.
We saw it against the Big Show when they first went at
Right.
it. He wrestled like a regular size man / cruiserweight. I'm like, what the hell?
Yeah.
This guy's amazing. He's probably one of the best big guys they have had, honestly, in a long time.
Yeah, I think a lot of it that helped him was that he wasn't in wrestling before he got to the WWE. So they taught him the way they want him to wrestle.
Yeah.
So he didn't get any confusion of wrestling a certain way and then having to change his style. He learned the way they want him to wrestle right off the bat. So.
And he actually came in as an extra for Adam Rose, as we all know.
I used to, I'm like, that guy's huge. I
Yeah.
used to watch the was it Rose Party?
Rose Party or something like that.
Yeah. That was, Adam Rose was a good gimmick at the beginning.
Yeah.
It got stale pretty quick. His best persona, I thought, was when he was Leo Kruger in NXT, and in Florida Championship Wrestling.
Yep.
All right, so the women's. So now we already know, like I was telling you, these are the ones that have already been named for sure. Naomi, Asuka, Ruby Riott, Natalya, Sasha Banks, Bayley, Paige. No, you know what I mean? I've been hearing two different things, that she's really hurt and it's a work.
No, to be completely honest, I think she's her career is probably over because there's clips of it. Of her.
It's too bad, though, man. She's 25 years old to
Same
have
age
your
as
career
me.
done, you know?
It's ridiculous.
That's horrible. Also in it is going to be Mandy Rose, Sonya Deville, Carmella, Sarah Logan, Liv Morgan, Tamina, Lana, Nia Jax, Mickie James, Becky Lynch. And underneath it, I wrote down a few names that I thought were probably going to be brought up in it. 3 people from NXT. I'm not sure. Two of them might already be up. Is Peyton Royce and Billy Kay already up?
In WWE?
Yeah.
No, I think they're still in NXT, actually.
So Peyton Royce, Billy Kay, and NXT Women's Champion Ember Moon. I would like to see all 3 of them come up for this. And also Shayna Baszler and Ronda Rousey. I mean, just if you really want Rousey for Mania, you gotta bring her to the Rumble.
Yeah.
You have to. Even if she's not in the Rumble, she gets in the ring after the Rumble's over and starts a fight with the person who wins it, which could be Asuka, could be Charlotte Flair.
Yeah.
I mean, don't look for that too. She could win the Women's Rumble.
That'd be different too.
You know, because know for a fact that if Ronda's going to end up wrestling, they want her to be in the ring with someone that's really talented.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of talent on this roster, but Charlotte's near the top.
Yes.
If she's not at the top, she's definitely near the top. But again, like you said, I'd love to see Sasha Banks win too. I mean, local girl, used to see her at Chaotic all the time and all over the place.
Yep.
You know? I had Rich Palladino on this, and he told me that how she started in the business was they told her to just follow him around and do whatever he asks.
Really?
Yep, that was her start, you know? And Rich, as you know, the best in the business. I don't care what anybody says. Chaotic's got the best ring announcer. They got the best referee.
Yes.
You know, I think they get the best group of referees, and this is not a knock on any referee at all, because I love all the referees in New England.
Yeah.
But, you know, Kevin Quinn, Tony S., and did they just bring Rich Bass back?
I think so, yeah.
So, I mean, with those 3 right there, and I think there's another one. Is there another ref at Chaotic that I'm missing?
I think so, but I can't think of his name right now.
Okay, so those 3 at least, and if I missed you, I'm very sorry. It was I didn't mean to slight you or anything, but yeah, I'm really excited for this for this Women's Rumble. I really am. I think it's about time too.
And I think it's going to kick things off for the Royal Rumble with the Women's Royal Rumble match.
Yeah, absolutely. I didn't expect them to do 30 either. I really.
I know. I thought they were going to do like at least 20.
That's what I thought. I thought it was going to be 20.
Yeah.
Just to tell us that they're doing 30 women, it's going to be incredible. I'm really looking forward to it. The Royal Rumble is one of my favorite pay-per-views because it's right around my birthday.
Yeah,
all
exactly.
the time.
And by the way, happy birthday to Leo Connors. His birthday was yesterday.
Actually, I am 27 again for the 26th year in a row.
I thought you were 21, man. I was going to take you out for a drink. Come on.
I've been 27 for 26 years. So are you excited about the women as much as I am? Like, seriously,
I really am. I think
there's going to be some good spots. We should get some good feuds to come out of this Rumble, too.
Yes, I love the women's division. I love what they become. I mean, I got to witness the first ever women's Hell in a Cell match live when I was there in Boston. The match I felt like could have been a lot better, but the hype for it was really awesome. But the match could have been a lot better.
Right.
And I know there was some botching going on.
Yeah,
but
which happens at times.
But still, I'm happy for those two to be the two to start that.
Right.
We had the first ever Money in the Bank women's ladder match.
Yes.
Didn't agree with the end.
No, neither did I. I thought it kind of tarnished it, really, to be honest with you.
And honestly, I didn't like who the winner was.
Yeah.
It could have been someone a lot better.
Yes, I agree.
But having the first ever women's Royal Rumble match is definitely an honor because that match has been around since 1988.
Yes.
And the first ever winner, if I'm not mistaken, was Hacksaw Jim Duggan
Yep.
for the males. This time we get to see the first ever women's winner, which is the new generation.
Who's it going to be?
And who's it going to be? We don't know. But I'm glad what they're doing with the women's division, definitely. And I respect the women.
Yeah,
definitely.
Me too. I'm so looking forward to it. I can't wait till they announce the other men, too.
Yep.
And the other women. It's going to be a very exciting time.
Yes.
Royal Rumble, which is what? Next week? The 28th, right?
This upcoming Sunday.
This coming Sunday, the 28th. Let's see, real quick, Brandon, before we go into other things, I just want to plug a couple of wrestling shows. And then at the end of the second one, you said you want to talk about the upcoming matches that you knew about at Chaotic. Yep. So first, I'd like to plug Pat Dillon's UFO Wrestling's February Vacation, which is Wednesday night, February 21st. Doors open at 7, so it says 7 o'clock, so I'm not sure. It might be the bell time 7. It's going to be held at the Malden Irish American Club at 177 West Street in Malden, Massachusetts. There is a special meet and greet with UFC veteran John Doomsday Howard. Tickets are just $12 and can be purchased at the door. Reserve your front row seat by purchasing your ticket at http. What's that called? The semicolon? Is that what those things are called?
Semicolon.
Semicolon, yeah. / www.paypal.me/Patrick Dillon. That's http semicolon / www.paypal.me/Patrick Dillon using the family and friends feature. Making her UFO debut is a women's wrestler that I've been following a little bit on the internet, Casey Carlisle, and she'll be taking on Davienne. Another match that's already been announced is Mistress Belmont versus Jocelyn. Very excited. Can't wait to, if you guys don't get nothing to do on Wednesday, February 21st, please make sure you're at the Irish American Club. So next, Chaotic Wrestling.
They're going to be in Lowell, Massachusetts. I forgot the exact location.
It's all right, I got it.
You got it.
Yeah, it's Game Time Sports and Fitness at 1703 Middlesex Street in Lowell, Mass.
With Flip Gordon making an appearance.
Yes, and it's February 2nd, and the doors open. This time I know for a fact the doors open at 7. Show usually starts at 8, correct?
Yeah.
All the Chaotic shows? Because you're at most of them.
Yeah.
Announced matches so far. There's only been one, as far as I can, unless you know more. Cam Zagami versus Anthony Green in a blindfold match. Have they announced more matches?
I guess it's going to be, let's see. I think it's Josh Briggs defending his New England championship against Brian Malonis, if I'm not mistaken.
I think I did see
that. And then, like I said, I know there's an appearance of Flip Gordon. I'm sure there's other matches I didn't really cut on, but those are like the three main major things that are going on.
Right. And as the week, I'm going to continue to put out these shows for everybody to cover them, and we'll let you know as more matches as they're announced. Like you said, Flip Gordon is confirmed to appear along with Eli Markopoulos, who is the Chaotic Heavyweight Champion, the New England Champion.
I got another match, actually.
Josh Briggs.
It's the Chaotic Wrestling Heavyweight Championship.
Yeah.
It's going to be JT Dunn versus
Eli Markopoulos.
Yes.
All right, so you heard that, guys, right there. JT Dunn getting a shot at Eli Markopoulos' Chaotic Wrestling's Heavyweight Championship. Again, New England champ Josh Briggs will be in attendance along with the Kingpin, Brian Malonis.
It's going to be a great match.
It's going to be incredible. I mean, Chaotic puts on a lot of shows, and I have a hard time getting the shows on Friday.
Yeah.
But I want to start going to a lot more. So
Yes.
you'll probably be hearing from me. She don't get home until like 7:30 some nights. But listen, you went to see 205 Live in Lowell the other night.
Yes.
I didn't go. I was actually there the night before at the Golden Gloves.
Oh, really?
With a couple of old friends of mine from high school. Nice. But I got all the results down. Why don't you, I'll tell the result. You tell us a little bit about the match. Does that sound good?
Sure.
The show opened up with Hideo Itami defeating Jack Gallagher, who I love that gimmick with that umbrella. I just love him. So what about that match?
The match, it started off pretty slow, but it was pretty decent. It was just like an old school classic match, just more grappling base, more technical. But I mean, every match that night, everything was actually perfect. But I gave the show a 7 out of 10.
Yep.
But still, decent match. No complaints. I just don't know how Jack Gallagher can wear a shirt and tie, the whole suit in wrestling. I don't understand that.
Yeah, I hear this. I know a couple indie guys that used to wrestle with boots, work boots. I was like, how the heck do you do that? I mean, it's hot enough sometimes just with sneakers on.
I think Crime Time did that before.
Yeah, Crime Time and this kid I really liked a lot from down the Philly area, Trent Asset. Next up, they had Grand Metalik and Kalisto defeated TJ Perkins, and Drew Gulak. What's the gimmick he's got going on now? It says something like vote. What's he, running for president?
No, he's like trying to be like a presidential like type character, and he was like trying to be like a politician for like the cruiserweight, saying no more high flying. That is not allowed whatsoever. And I don't get it. I don't like his character personally.
Yeah,
but
he's a great wrestler though.
Great,
he really
great,
is.
Great wrestler. Honestly, that match was really good. Kalisto and Grand Metalik, man, they were actually a pretty good tag team.
Oh, I believe it.
Next Lucha Dragons maybe, but probably not going to happen. But yeah, those two definitely set the bar. I was kind of surprised TJP didn't really deliver as much as I thought he would.
Maybe he could be hurt too a little bit though, maybe, and they just put him. That's why he's in a tag team match, so Gulak can do most of the work. But it's what happens when guys are injured. You know, they can still come down and wrestle. I mean, they did that with the British Bulldogs when Dynamite Kid was hurt. They kept having matches, and he would step in the ring for like 15 seconds. Davey Boy Smith would just wrestle the whole match pretty much. Next up, they had Woken Matt Hardy as he defeated Bray Wyatt. Now, did that get the biggest pop of the night?
That probably did.
Yeah.
Mostly the main event, but we'll get to that.
Right.
But yeah, that definitely got the biggest pop. Like everybody was cheering for Bray Wyatt.
Really?
Yep. And people were cheering for Matt Hardy. They were just chanting delete, delete, delete the entire time.
That must drive me nuts.
Yeah,
but
but like, but honestly, people were like, it wasn't like a 5-star match, but it was a very entertaining match,
right?
Which I like to see as well.
Yep.
But yeah, people were chanting for Hardy. People were chanting for Bray Wyatt. It was like an on and off. And I like that they're doing that for house shows just to see if they can put on like a 5-star match when it gets to television. But yeah, I was happy to see the Woken Matt Hardy, or the broken gimmick as we call it. Just because I've been dying to see that live for the past couple of years, and finally got to see it at a WWE programming. Nothing less, more than less, but
a lot of people are hating on it, and I like it. I like silliness in wrestling. I really do. I love comedy in wrestling. You know what I mean?
The laughter is hilarious.
Yeah, you can't just everybody be serious. It's kind of like the thing where how everybody's in shape now. When I started watching wrestling, trust me, man, there were guys that you wouldn't even think to get out of bed. That's how big they were, you know?
But I like the laughter, the
It's crazy, huh?
Yeah.
And he can just keep doing it. He does it for he could do it for like 60 seconds if he wanted. He's hilarious.
Love it.
Next up, they have a guy that I really like a lot. Akira Tozawa defeated Arya Davari.
Yeah, that was actually a pretty decent match,
That was a good wrestler.
Yes, very
really
good.
Is.
Pretty good match. Very solid match. Yeah, that was a pretty decent match.
Yeah.
Not the best one of the night, but it was pretty decent.
But, and I know I just said Tozawa's a great wrestler, but Davari's really good too.
Yeah.
He really is. All these guys, you get to this level, you don't suck. I'm sorry, you just don't. You know?
That's why I think it should have just, like I said before, it should have been ran continually by Paul Levesque, aka Triple H, not Vince McMahon.
Yep.
Kept it where they perform for NXT.
The next match after I read the results shocked me, okay?
Yeah.
As Mustafa Ali defeated Tony Nese. Now, I've seen Tony Nese wrestle live a few times.
Yeah.
And that kid's got so much talent. Not that, like I said, they all do, but I'm really high on Tony Nese because I've seen him a few times.
Here we go. Ready? Match of the night.
Really?
That match.
Because Ali's good too,
Yeah.
boy.
Dude, Mustafa Ali, I want him to be the next one.
Yeah.
Or Cedric Alexander. Between those two,
Yeah.
Cruiserweight Championship push, because those two definitely brought it.
Yeah.
But definitely Mustafa Ali brought it. Tony, I like to call him Tony Abs.
Okay,
That's what
Tony
they like to call him.
Abs.
But,
who calls him that?
Definitely the color commentators.
Oh,
They're
okay.
like, Tony Abs, look at those abs. You know, that's what they say.
Yeah,
yeah, those guys brought out like a 5-star match that everybody was like on their feet for that match. Loved it.
That's
Great
cool.
match. Great
now,
match.
the main event had a special guest referee as Nia Jax was
Yes.
the special guest referee. And one of the guys in this main event just got suspended today.
Yeah, we just found out.
As
about that.
the Cruiserweight champ, Enzo Amore, defeated Cedric Alexander.
Yeah.
I would have loved to have seen Cedric hear that he won the belt at a house show, like when they gave Joe the NXT belt. But
that's what we all thought was going to happen, but it didn't.
good match, other than Nia screwing it at the end.
Shockingly,
Yeah.
Enzo brought it that night.
Nice.
And honestly, I have not seen that guy do more moves from NXT and WWE programming than what he did that night. Shockingly, he brought a 5-star match for that match. Yeah, for that show, for
That's
that match.
good.
But yeah, they both put on a good match. The finish was actually shockingly like. Of course, you're gonna be like a fan. You're gonna be like, oh, of course. But everyone was like on their feet, like screaming.
Yeah.
So what happened was Cedric Alexander and Enzo were going at it, and Enzo accidentally pushed Nia Jax, and she got up and looked like she was gonna go for Enzo. Cedric Alexander goes for like one of his flying kicks. Enzo ducks, hits Nia Jax, so she's knocked out. And then he does like that crazy move that he does, and all of a sudden Nia Jax gets him up. Picks up, I'm being dead serious, picks up Cedric Alexander, Samoan drop, 1, 2, 3, she did it that fast.
Right.
And everybody was off their feet for that match. But it was, honestly, I am very impressed with Enzo Amore, especially after everything that's going on.
I'm glad to hear that.
Very, very impressed with his performance that night. And Cedric Alexander, nothing to be ashamed of. Soon to be Cruiserweight champion one day.
Absolutely. That guy's got so much talent. I don't think the Cruiserweight thing will hold him down, too, when he finally does make it up to the roster, the main roster. That kid can wrestle.
Yes,
he can wrestle anybody.
Top talent.
Anytime. You know what I want to discuss is, because tonight, Raw is having the 25th anniversary.
Yes.
They announced the 25 greatest moments in Monday Night Raw history.
Which I still need to watch.
Well, we'll go. I'll say them, and I'm sure you saw them all.
Yeah.
So we could just talk a little bit about each one.
Okay.
Number 25 was Mae Young's Great Ride, they called it, with the Dudley Boys. And the Dudley Boys took her from the back, brought her all the way to the stage,
Yep.
and threw her through it. Was there a table set up?
Yeah, there was a table set up off the stage.
Yeah. Crazy.
Crazy.
And at the time, Mae Young was about 86, 87 years old.
Yes.
Tough lady. She was
Yes.
tough. As she'd say about herself, tough broad. She's
Oh,
tough
yeah.
broad. That was pretty cool. I thought. I thought definitely it was nice to see that in the top 25 moments. Dudley Boys, very underrated when they were in the WWE.
Yes.
Everyone wants to talk about, Bully Ray's TNA run or their ECW run. But they had a fantastic run in the WWE.
Yes, they did.
Number 24 was X-Pac, wrestling at the time as the Lightning Kid, the Kid, whatever you want to call him.
1, 2, 3 Kid.
Yep.
Yep.
He got the name 1, 2, 3 after he did
Yes.
this. And he beat Razor Ramon.
Yes.
Something to do about money, too. He took the money and ran. There was money involved in it.
Really?
Yes. That was incredible. I really thought that Razor Ramon helped him out so much in that match. You know what I mean? The Kid, X-Pac, whatever you want to call him, he was so young.
Yeah.
And so skinny.
So skinny at the time. Really skinny.
But, the talent that those guys had in the ring that night, it was just incredible.
Beautiful match.
And as time went on, they became best of friends.
With the Click.
Yes.
As people should know.
Yes, with the Click. And in the NWO, because X-Pac ended up in the NWO, too.
That's correct.
Number 23, Hell Freezes Over, as Eric Bischoff is named the Raw Gentleman. Now, this is a moment that I never thought I'd see.
Yeah. That
Ever.
Very, very shocking moment for me at like 10 years old at that time. Ridiculous.
It was ridiculous.
Never thought a guy that was trying to destroy WWE at that time coming to WWE. That makes no sense. But people were like, what?
They were losing their minds.
Ridiculous.
I was.
Yeah.
When he brought him out, I couldn't even speak a word.
Yeah,
It was like the hatred that, of all the things Bischoff would say about the WWE, too.
Yeah.
But, something, Vince seen something and said, this will work.
Yeah.
Let's bring him in and do it.
And it worked for a good 3 or 4 years during that time.
Absolutely. Number 22 was Here Comes the Money, was Vince is in the ring saying how he bought WCW, only to find out right underneath his thumb, his son Shane and Stephanie bought it. Well, Shane bought, supposedly, WCW, and Stephanie
got ECW at the time.
yeah, but which was really not true. But
part of a good storyline with the invasion thing, though,
yes,
for sure.
Yeah, it was awesome. At the time, Shane had been gone for a little bit.
Yeah.
He made his comeback, and we all know where it's been. Shane may not be the best wrestler in the world, but he always puts on an entertaining match. He really does.
That is for sure.
Number 21 was when Mick Foley, of Mankind, had "This Is Your Life," Rock, The Rock, which was hilarious because they were bringing in his teachers, his coach,
ex-girlfriend.
and they all coming in so excited. And The Rock's like, "Get out of here!"
And he said some stuff that we cannot say on here, unfortunately. But that was a hilarious moment.
Yeah.
Great moment.
And I love The Rock. He's had so many great moments.
Yes.
Number 19, we had the Wedding Crasher. It's called Wedding Crasher. When Stephanie and Tess were about to get married, and Triple H comes down and reveals that him and Stephanie were already married, even though she was drunk. And unconscious. They drove through a wedding chapel in Las Vegas. Triple H pretended to be Stephanie's voice, and it was silly, but it was funny.
Yeah.
I definitely enjoyed that, and Tess got screwed.
Yeah.
It could be Tess running. Could have been Tess running NXT instead of Triple H.
Definitely.
Next, let's see. Next, we had. I'm sorry. 21, right? When I was writing them down, I missed one because I was fast forwarded.
Yeah.
21 was baddest man on the planet. Is when Iron Mike Tyson was in the ring, and here comes Austin.
Yeah.
And that was unbelievable.
Yes.
Austin gave him the double middle finger, and they went at it for a while, and it set up for him to be the referee between him and Shawn Michaels at WrestleMania.
Yeah. And the funny thing is, there's a good story behind that because supposedly when Mike Tyson pushed him, if you watch the footage, everybody was holding Austin down, but nobody was like really holding Mike Tyson. Because what happened was when he pushed him, I guess he had like a bunch of money and it fell out of his pocket, so all the security guards were more worried about the money than holding Mike Tyson down.
Nice.
But still, one hell of a moment though, for sure.
Absolutely. And one of Tyson's, in his own words, man, one of the greatest moments of his life. Guy had been a wrestling fan longer than he was a boxing fan, and that's just a fact. So number 18, this one I loved, the Festival of Friendship. Chris Jericho and Kevin Owens. Now, I loved this pairing when they were doing it. I really did.
Totally agree.
They were incredible together. They gave us some great moments.
Yep.
Any particular moment between those two stick out to you?
Oh my God, there's so many of them. But definitely that one. I like the one where they were getting ready for that shark cage match, and all of a sudden they were putting him inside the cage, and I think it was on a Monday Night Raw. They were raising it, and all of a sudden he's like screaming out, "Kevin, please save me! Save me, Kevin! Save me!" And it was hilarious. But that was probably one of my favorites right there, for sure.
Because Jericho and Owens, Steen, the old Kevin Steen, you know, but Owens and Jericho both have a lot of good comedy moments in them. And they were great together as a team. Now, as Owen says, though, forget about Chris Jericho because he has a new best friend. He said this on that show I watched. The Graw's greatest moments in 25 years. And it was definitely funny. Next up, we had at 17, Goodbye Edge, his retirement, which caught a lot of people off guard. Very sad. Edge was an incredible performance.
Yes, he was.
Were you sad that night?
I was very
a lot of people were, myself included.
It was kind of weird because I think he was on SmackDown at the time. And as World Heavyweight Champion. So I was like, what's Edge doing here on Raw? So I was just like watching it, just laying there, watching it the way I was. And then once he told me that, like once he said that to everybody, actually, I just like, sorry about that. And I was just shocked. I literally sat up and I was like, what? He's retiring? But think about it. He got to retire as one of the main events for WrestleMania. He retained as World Heavyweight Champion. And he got to retire with the World Heavyweight title. And got inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame the next year. As an 11-time World Champion, multi-time Intercontinental Tag Team, whatever you want to say.
They said he was like a 61-time champion or something like that in WWE.
Definitely won a lot of championships and definitely deserves to be a Hall of Famer. Now he's doing good. He's retired, as we know, as a wrestler with Beth Phoenix. Have beautiful children. Great life. Very
podcast.
The
E&C podcast. Him and Christian have a podcast together. I was definitely sad, too, because he had a lot of more years left in him.
Definitely.
He really did. Honestly, he had 10 more years.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And it's always sad when you don't get to go out on your own terms. You know what I mean? But that was a very, very, very sad segment. But made the top 20. So at number 17. Number 16, Silence is Deafening. as no words were spoken. The Undertaker came out, and then Triple H came out. They didn't say a word to each other. They stared at each other. They looked up at the WrestleMania sign. They stared back at each other, and Undertaker left. Triple H left. There was no words. That's why the thing's called Silence is Deafening. Taker.
Goosebumps.
Goosebumps. Huh?
Goosebumps, man.
I was right next to him one time in the Boston Garden. I went to a show. We were coming down like the thing to leave.
Yeah.
And I could hear all this commotion. Here comes Jim Ross and him. And it's like I went like this.
Yeah.
And this is back years ago. He was like, it was like a rock. It was like hitting the table, you know what I mean? A table or a rock. He was so solid.
Yeah.
And probably the biggest legend in wrestling, at least gimmick-wise.
Yes.
Gimmick-wise. The best gimmick of all time.
Yes.
You know, The Undertaker.
Very intimidating.
Oh, yeah, very intimidating. And at number 15, we had Bedpan McMahon as Mankind brought his good friend, Yerple the Clown, to try to cheer up Vince McMahon, who was in the hospital. And Vince was having none of it, calling him stupid and getting him out of here. And then Dr. Austin came in and hit him with the bedpan.
Take it from here, nurse, and then just starts beating the crap out of him.
And you can hear his voice, too. As soon as he heard him, Vince was like, oh,
and the thing is, behind the scenes, he actually was like, you sure you want me to hit you with this? And he's like, yeah, hit me as hard as you can, damn it. And he actually hit him as hard as he could and took it like a champ. Ridiculous. And then he starts beating up his cast and everything. Yeah. Hilarious.
I thought it was great, too, because Yerple the Clown, it was just so silly. You know what I mean? Just so silly. Should be trying to make a balloon and then,
Mick Foley was
there.
Yeah,
but what do you make? The balloons. Animal balloons.
Oh, animal
balloons.
Yeah.
It was hilarious.
Get out.
Yeah, get out. Number 14, The Prodigal Son Returns. This is the one where Vince was in the ring and he was giving out that award, Vincent J. Kennedy Award. Vincent J. McMahon Award for his father. Yeah. And he was giving it to Stephanie.
Yep.
And then Shane returned.
Unexpectedly. No, did not expect that whatsoever.
I didn't see that
Ridiculous.
coming at all. You know what's funny? The internet was completely fooled, too.
Yeah.
They didn't tell anybody. Nobody knew.
And it's pretty hard to do that nowadays.
Exactly. And as I said earlier, I mean, I like Shane McMahon. I really do. A lot of people get down on him because, he's taking somebody's spot. Well, he does a great job, though. Yeah. So what are you complaining about?
Yeah, especially at his age.
Right.
He can still go.
Yeah.
That match he had with AJ Styles stole the show, and that was the opening match. Yeah. And I was there live watching that. Show stealer right there.
Right. Oh, I love AJ Styles, too. I really do. But, I've always been a big Shane supporter. Next up, at number 13, we had the Swantron, as Jeff Hardy climbed the Titantron and did a Swanton off it on top of Randy Orton. When they showed it today, the thing, and I watched it, and they ran it in slow motion. Yeah. So incredible to see that. Yeah. I mean, he dropped a good 35 feet.
Yes.
That
was ridiculous.
It's always dangerous to do something like that. I mean, there's one thing to jump down like this, like a frog splash or an axe handle.
Doing a front flip like that high up.
That's scary.
Yeah.
But give it up to Jeff Hardy because
he got a lot of guts, man.
A lot of guts, and he's always been quite the entertainer. At number 12, we had when the DX invasion of WCW. My
God.
Silly. They tried to even get in the building, and they closed the gate. Good thing they did, because they almost got in that building.
Yeah.
Pretty funny, and they're asking the fans, who wants to see, WWE guys. It was nuts. Yeah. I am surprised that they didn't send anybody out there, though, to say, hey, what the...
I'm surprised they didn't get sued for that.
Very true, very true. But DX had a lot of good controversial moments, but that was a really good one. At number 11, the Beast is back. John Cena's in the ring, and he's talking, and all of a sudden, here comes Brock Lesnar and Paul Heyman. Right?
Yeah.
Heyman was with him, too,
No,
right?
it was just Brock Lesnar.
And he bloodied John Cena's mouth.
Oh, yes.
Because remember, they ended up, and I mean, that was another thing. You just said how they said hit him. John Cena said to hit him, too.
Yeah.
Like in the back, and he bloodied them all up.
Yeah.
It was great to see Brock back. I love John Cena. I really do. I can't believe how some people talk about this guy. This guy's literally carried this company on his back for years and years and years. And there is nobody on that roster that is better than him to do it either. Nobody.
I'm kind of in that same fan base. I'm not really a big fan of Cena because I feel like there's like a lot of guys he definitely buried. But after the past like 2 years, I definitely got a lot of respect for the guy for what he's done. So I'll give him that for sure.
Oh, he's definitely buried a few people, but there's a lot of other wrestlers in the world that's buried people too. Yeah, not just John Cena.
I agree.
Number 10, we had the number 1 lottery draft pick of all time. Chris Jericho's in the ring, and we just talked about the guy.
John Cena.
John Cena. He was the very first lottery draft pick, and that was probably 7 years ago or 6 years ago.
That was back in 2005.
There you go. So, So what's that, 12 years ago?
12, 13 years ago.
Wow, that's a long time. Next up, we had at number 9, I think you said you were there. Mankind wins the WWE World Championship. You weren't there? Okay. Now, what I loved about this was on air on Nitro, Tony Schiavone did the dumbest thing that he ever could do.
Talk crap about him.
He turned around and said, they're giving the belt to Mick Foley. How many? That'll put asses in the seats.
Yeah, that would put butts in seats.
And guess what? 90% of the people or something like that switch the channel on the spot.
Yep.
Tony Schiavone, not a very bright guy at times.
Nope, definitely not.
At number 8, we had the Women's Evolution begins as Trish Stratus defended her Women's Divas Championship, right?
Women's Championship.
Was it women's back then?
Yep.
Okay. Trish defended it, and Lita came back. And that's the one when Lita dove through the ropes.
Ridiculous.
I mean, I thought her neck was like broken.
Gonna break again.
Yeah, that was nuts. Both those women are very talented. I mean, Trish Stratus never had a wrestling, you know what I mean? She came in as a fitness model.
Yep.
And for her to get as good as she did, and I'm not mistaken, girls at the time were trained by Fit Finlay.
Yeah.
You know, Fit was running everything with the girls, and that match was incredible.
Yes.
You know?
I love that match. Every single time I watch it, I love watching it. So
nice.
Definitely agree with that one.
Number 7, the betrayal of brotherhood as Seth Rollins turns on Roman Reigns and Dean Ambrose in the Shield.
Yep, could have had another 3 or 4 year run. We talked about that before.
Yeah, I think that was the biggest mistake. That's why it's good to see them back together. Let's hope they stay together for a while.
Yep.
Silly to break them up. It really was. Number 6, calls it the big dog jab. I'm not a very big fan of that segment, to be totally honest with you. All it was Roman Reigns in the ring doing a promo that wasn't even that good.
Nope.
You know what I mean? So I hate to say it, but like I tell my girl all the time, Americans sometimes are so dumb, okay?
Yeah.
Monica Lewinsky, she did what she did to the president, right? Mm-hmm. Then they decided to give her a thing with berets. Mm-hmm. The first month, she sold like 1 million of them. Why? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
She's famous for something that a father would never want their daughter to be famous for. You know what I mean? But Roman Reigns, they called it the big dog's yard. Wasn't impressed.
Swear if he wins the Rumble, I'm going to throw my TV.
Yeah, well, don't do that because it'll cost you so much money. But honestly, I won't be happy either. I might turn me off of watching the next year's Rumble if he wins again.
Yep.
Number 5, this was great because everybody wanted to do it to their boss. Austin stuns McMahon.
Probably wasn't the best stunner.
No.
But one of the greatest moments for sure.
Because Vince didn't go to his knees like an idiot. It looked like he could have got hurt.
He looked like he was having a seizure when he got
when he laid down. Too.
Yeah, he was just like dying.
He overdoes it sometimes, but I liked Vince, the character, when he was doing this stuff. I really did. I don't know if you know this, but to get him into that role, they were he was going down to Jerry Lawler's TV in Memphis and did a few things down there as a heel.
I believe it.
So that's how he was getting a little practice.
Yep.
You know, because they used to do their TV live too on Saturday mornings down in Memphis. Next up, I told Brandon off the air about this. My favorite segment of all time on Raw is Break the Walls Down. Chris Jericho interrupts The Rock. You remember that?
Yes,
right?
I do.
I thought it was the right guy for him to introduce if you're going to, you wanted to push. You don't just bring him in and interrupt like The Miz or somebody. You know, to interrupt The Rock at the moment, and they ended up having a bunch of matches.
Yep.
They were incredible. Should talk about a little bit about your love for Jericho.
Like I said, my best friend Jim.
Yep.
Huge fan of Chris Jericho. That segment was really good, and honestly, the fans erupted when they saw the word Jericho on the Titantron. They were like, "Oh my God!" It was a great segment. I don't get me wrong. It was a great segment all around. I really didn't like how he comes in, everyone's like loving him, and all of a sudden The Rock kind of like ruined his moment. But that's how Chris Jericho wanted it, though.
Right.
So I totally respect that. But no, awesome moment. Big Chris Jericho fan. Like I said, I'm very proud of what he delivered at his age. I think he's like 46, 47.
46.
And doing what he did with Kevin Owens and giving him 2-time United States Championship run, and then going to Japan, going against Kenny Omega.
Which was an incredible match.
I finally saw.
You did finally see it.
Great match.
Wow.
Well, unbelievable. Words can't describe. It was ridiculous.
That match was, I mean, they say 5 stars. I'd have to say 7 on that one. Honestly, it really was
9
back
stars
and
over
forth.
there.
It was crazy.
Ridiculous.
It was really, really good. I've always loved Jericho. He's been one of my favorites for a long time. I'd love to go on that cruise he's doing.
Yeah.
But maybe he'll have another one next year.
I'm the same way, but guy his age, honestly, that is one guy I could say I would love to return all the time because he can still go.
Oh, absolutely. I mean? He tweaks himself just that little bit. It's all he needs to do.
Yeah.
Someone's calling me. My pockets are vibrating. Number 3, we had Occupy Raw as the fans and Daniel Bryan took over Monday Night Raw for a few minutes.
Yes.
With the yes. It was awesome.
Unbelievable.
Daniel Bryan, it's the only moment he has on here, and I've been watching Daniel Bryan since 2002.
Yeah.
Honestly. And you could tell back then, even in 2002, that you couldn't tell that he was going to be a WWE star.
Yeah.
But you knew, if you're a wrestling fan like you and I are, you knew he'd be somewhere, Japan, top indies, you know what I mean?
Ring of Honor. He was a big star in Ring of Honor.
That's where I met him, and he's incredible. That Ring of Honor roster in 2002 to 2004, in my eyes, is the greatest roster I've ever seen.
I totally agree with you.
I really do. The guy that owns Beyond Wrestling, Drew Cadero, I went to the first Beyond show I went to, so I hit him up on Facebook and said, wow, man, what a show. It was my first time going. It reminded me of the rosters of Ring of Honor from 2002 to 2004. He messaged me back and says that's the biggest compliment he could get because that's his favorite wrestling in that era.
Totally
very, very cool. They're saying now that he may come back. I don't think the WWE wants him to.
No.
I would much rather have him healthy and be doing what he's doing now.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to lie. If he wrestles again, I'm going to make damn sure I watch it.
Oh, yeah. I totally agree.
You know, I mean, trained by Shawn Michaels, you know, him, Brian Kendrick, Paul London. There was a few of them. There was a tag team, the Board of Education. They never made it. Ruben something and Jeremy something, and they were just awesome wrestlers. They didn't make it, though. They didn't make it to the WWE or Ring of Honor or anything. But they had a really good little thing at it was Texas All-Star Wrestling or something like that. Number 2, very surprised you had said that he was even on this list. But how could he not? CM Punk's pipe bomb. I love that pipe bomb, whatever you want to call it, that promo.
Brought the truth out.
He really did. He told the truth. You know, when he said that, that he didn't think the WWE would be in good hands after Vince dies because it's going to be run by his stupid daughter and his doofus son-in-law.
And the truth is, people still think this to this day about Vince.
Yeah.
And honestly, I don't blame him. Even though he doesn't care about the wrestling industry anymore, I still agree with him with that promo. That's why I like CM Punk as number 1.
Yeah.
I don't care what Jim says.
Right.
But CM Punk is number 1.
I'll tell you what. I met Punk a few times, and he wasn't very nice. That's just how he was. You could tell anyways. He's a miserable type of guy.
Yeah.
But even though I said that, doesn't change what he can do in the ring and what he can do on a microphone.
Totally agree.
He might have treated us like crap when we met him, but I still want to see him.
Yes.
Every time he was wrestling, I was right there watching it. I mean, I had to watch it. He was that damn good.
Yes, he was.
You know? And would I love to see him come back? In a heartbeat.
Yes.
Right? Obviously,
I would love
you
to
just
see
said,
him back.
yeah, right.
I would love to see him
You
back.
just said it, yeah.
I would like to see him tonight on Monday Night Raw or Royal Rumble. I don't care.
Yeah.
Let's see him come back soon, hopefully.
Yes. I would love that. Imagine if he came back at the Rumble.
Oh, my
at
God.
like number 30.
I'd be like, guys, leave the room. I need the TV to myself. Okay?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, listen, the number 1, and then I'm going to talk something real quick about something that wasn't on the list, which shocks me. Number 1 was Stone Cold Beer Truck when when he nailed The Rock and Vince McMahon with all that beer.
Swimming in the beer.
Yeah.
Swimming in the beer.
And that was pretty cool. A lot of people liked that. A lot of people were soaked with beer.
Yeah.
That was sitting around there ringside. And it gave another great moment later on where Kurt Angle came with the milk truck.
Yeah.
That, just little things you do on wrestling can lead to something else down the line.
Yes.
I definitely think that was very cool. What I'm shocked at is there was not one Shawn Michaels moment.
I know.
No, when he lost his smile
Yeah.
in Lowell, Massachusetts, I was there. Shocked.
Yeah.
I really was. I don't understand how he doesn't have any moments. He had some great moments.
Him and Triple H getting back together in 2006 with DX.
All the funny things they used to do.
The great matches he
I don't
portrayed.
remember when they had the mustard.
The mustard, yeah.
And all of a sudden the girl comes crawling. You know what I mean?
He opens the production truck and he's like, hello?
Yeah.
Hello?
Everybody knew what was going
Ridiculous.
on. All right, listen, we got a minute and a half. I'm going to plug these things again, Brandon. Chaotic Wrestling invades Lowell, Mass. Game Time Sports and Fitness at 1703 Middlesex Street in Lowell, Mass. 01851. February 2nd. Doors open at 7 p.m. Confirmed to appear. Blindfold match. Cam Zagami and Anthony Green. Flip Gordon. Elia Markopoulos taking on JT Dunn. Actually, Markopoulos defending his title against JT Dunn. New England champ Josh Briggs and Brian Malonis. UFO Wrestling's February Vacation. Wednesday, February 21st at 7 p.m. The Malden Irish American Club, 177 West Street, Malden, Mass. There's a special meet and greet with UFC veteran John Doomsday Howard. Tickets are just $12. And don't forget, on February 24th, Brian Fury is at his New England Pro Wrestling Academy having the one-day fantasy camp. And that's at 100 Belmont Street, North Andover, Mass. Start your career in the professional wrestling world or just live out your dream for a day. Starts at 10, ends at 2. You can email them at neprowrestling@hotmail.com.
Yes.
There's a reserve your spot today. Brandon, thanks again, buddy.
Yeah, thanks for having me again.
Coming back in April, right?
Yeah, April.
And we'll do this again. I think we're going to we'll cover some different topics.
All right.
Tag teams and things like that. Guys, we're out. Peace!
The preceding program was provided by an independent producer solely responsible for its content. The opinions expressed do not necessarily represent the views of this station, its staff, board of directors, or underwriters.